Hi, welcome back to the Alchemize user manual where we are covering the core components of Alchemize. Previously, we looked at the repository component in detail. We saw how to create a repository and create and import objects into this repository. In the Objects section, we covered how to activate the metadata. Today, we will be covering the rule set and rule details component. Rule sets are simply a collection of rules, or in other words, the container which holds the collection of rules. Rules are the means to execute your particular operation, such as an archive or a migration. In the rule set, a rule controls the relationship between the objects from source repository and the destination repository. You will need a unit name for creating this repository. A source repository is from where you are selecting the data to merge or to transform that particular data. Destination repository is where you are putting the data after the transformation or after we do the copy and saving of this particular data. Application is for which we are creating the rule set, so now we can send the rule set to this particular application. Next, you have object for rule. This is the main picture that Alchemize provides in the application. On a single click, it will create a particular hierarchy for a selected object. If you select, it will automatically create the hierarchy of that particular object. Next, you will see how the application is processed. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will click Add. In this table, you add the details of your rule set. You will add the rule set source and next the destination. The application just as in the repository. In the object for rule set, you can create the object for rule. If you click on Apply, it will create an automated hierarchy for this particular work order. Once I click on Apply, it will take just a few moments for this hierarchy to create and apply. In the Alchemize application, you will always be able to see on the bottom right-hand pop-up that when something is successfully created and stored, your confirmation is complete. As you can see from the rule set created, that all of the details are available in the pop-up menu. You can view your rules on the right-hand side of the menu, just as you can in the context menu. This is a similar attribute in the Alchemize tool across the board in each component. We encourage you to take advantage of whatever works best for you in terms of portal utilization. So let's assume that you're viewing this rule from the drop-down menu of the View Rule category. You will view the rule in this particular hierarchy that is selected with the help of Object for Rule. Here you can see the hierarchies that were created automatically with the implementation of your single selection. You can view transformation for the view of a mapping, also available in the context menu. This will take just a few moments to load the source mapping and transformation objects. Once loaded, you can see all of the objects and icons on this menu. On the map, you can see the unmapped. Click All on Unmapped in the drop-down menu and you will see all of the unmapped. Shown is the source and target as we can see. When you click on Unmapped Target, it will show nothing. And if you go to Unmapped Source, it will show the same content because only the target object doesn't have these particulars, so that's why it's showing us unmapped. We can see compatibility in the drop-down menu at the top. Select Matched from this menu, and then you'll be able to view the source object name, the target object name, and type, and they will be matched. If you select Unmatched from this menu, the source object name and target object name will be the same, but the type will be different. So if you see on the left-hand side the type is different from the type on the right-hand side, making this unmatched. This is all of the mapping from source to target object. This is all the transformation and rule set. We can also create the rule set without using the object for rule by clicking on the right-hand side button that says Add. The window to add the rule set will pop up, and here you'll name your rule set give the repository name, the destination repository name, application, and give it a description. Lastly, click the checkbox for active, which is a mandatory option when creating a rule set this way. If you do not tick the active box and sign this rule set, then the job will reply that this rule set is not active. If you click on the locked option, then only the admin can edit this rule set in the future. You will not need to fill out the object for rule field. Next, you'll click Save, and the green confirmation box for a successful rule set creation will pop up. Currently, I'm using the system admin user, so I have the ability to edit this rule set. As you can see, while it's locked, and it's a locked page, I cannot edit, but once I unlock it, I can edit. We've created the rule set and are going to go into rules therein. There are no rules previously created in this rule set since we just created it, so now we'll add our new rule. We create the new rule name, select the rule set from the drop-down menu, source repository, and the destination repository will automatically populate. We are selecting work order for both source object and target object. Application is not mandatory, so we are just assigning this to the application. You will need to select the action needed, and for this particular training, we're using an archive. Selection rule is a useful tool if you need to assign this rule for any particular object and apply this to any particular work order ID. Then this rule set will only execute that particular work order ID. I will create this for the purpose of this training. Click Active and Save. Your green pop-up box will confirm that it was saved successfully, and the rule will not have hierarchy since we have only just created it. By clicking View, you will be able to see the transformation objects. Additionally, in the Rule Set section, you can click on your new rule set and can clone the rule set. Also accessible in the context menu by right-clicking. And you can duplicate this rule set. Click Clone, and now your duplicate clone pops up on the Rule Sets page as well. The version will be different, so you can have the ability to differentiate these rule sets. These are the functions of the rule and rule set component. Thank you for joining us in this training today, and we hope you find the rule and rule set functions helpful in utilizing this component of the Alchemize tool.